My name is Atir Atkosaretti. I'm 25 years old, based out of Austin, Texas, and this is Financial Interrogation.
Well, all right. Yeah. So you are a follow-up episode. Now, for most people, if they haven't seen your original episode, it honestly won't matter because we're going to give you the same kind of financial audit as normal. But for people who have, we'll determine if you have,
done better
or stuff. I want to hear from your perspective. Well, actually, first, just for a little bit of context and stuff like that, you were in a position where you were just recently laid off in the tech world, which is actually interesting because now tech is laying off all over the place. Mm-hmm. And which wasn't the case at that time. We still had a very strong tech market for probably like 5 months after that recording. And you also had some weird personal loans for car stuff.
Yeah.
So one personal loan still there? Gone. Good. Why?
What?
You just paid it off?
I got a job. I got like another job. So once money started coming in, I just paid that off.
Okay. And your runway was pretty small too, but you ended up getting another job.
Unemployment helped quite a bit because
you had unemployment.
So unemployment, I got like $2,000 a month. So I only really had to pull $2,000 a month out of my savings account. So I was able to make it work.
I can't promise you'll get $2,000 a month for subscribing, but I will promise that you won't regret it. And we're really trying to get to 250,000 subscribers. So please feel free to consider. Okay. So what is your new position and what do you bring in?
Software engineer. So my base salary is $115,000, 115, not 150. I got a $20,000 sign-on bonus, and then end of year performance bonus. That's going to be like 12 to 18%. So average, you could say 15.
Yeah,
that's end of the year though.
So that's actually really good because that you were like in the 90s, right? Previously, 90,000 range with the job you're laid off with, right?
Oh, that was paying more than 90,000.
Oh, it was? Okay.
It was paying like $90 an hour. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, are you happy with this job?
Yeah.
Is it one of the major tech companies or is it like smaller?
It's kind of like medium. For the previous position, I wasn't deliberately waiting for a medium tech company. It's just, I got lucky.
Yeah. Really. Okay. So looking back, everything, you clean that up. Where would you say your financial position is now?
It's better than being unemployed. So yeah, it's better.
Mm-hmm. Any issues? Self-assessed? Any
issues? I feel like it's easy for anyone to say, yeah, I don't have issues. So, and then, you do an audit on them. And you're like, dude, you got a lot of issues.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything major. I'm sure there's probably some things in my budget that aren't perfect, but I'm not like, going to debt or like blowing through my paycheck.
Why did you decide to get rid of this personal? I'm glad you did, but what was like the kick in the butt that you threw a big pile of money towards getting rid of it?
Because I had an income, like I got a job, I got the sign-on bonus.
But what made you, instead of like saving that money or spending that money, what made you think to put it at that specifically?
Because the interest rate is high. It's smart to just get rid of the high interest debt. Now, if you have like a loan that's 2%, then maybe it might be better to take that money and invest it or something.
What was the interest rate? Do you remember?
It was something like 10%.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was.
I'm very glad you did.
It was dumb. I just couldn't get that regular auto loan. For some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. And the car is a
Toyota Camry 2018.
All paid off. No debt on that.
All paid off.
Great.
Again, I don't want to like pretend, I'm self-made. I think in the previous video, I should have specified, hey, my parents did help me. Mm-hmm. I think in college, my parents got me the car, so they were kind of paying for it. Then it was mostly paid off when I got it. So I just kind of want to make that clear. I don't want to be like, I did it all myself.
Okay. Yeah, that was definitely a topic of conversation the last time was, maybe potential entitlements and stuff like that, because we also had conversations around you not willing to work another job in the meantime. Like even if it was for $15 an hour, it almost felt like you were looking down on it.
No, I definitely don't look down upon folks who do work those jobs. So in South Asian culture, if you graduate with a degree in something, it's generally a bit more acceptable to live at home with them and rely on them financially. My parents were okay with it. They actually encouraged me to just focus on getting a programming job. I wasn't like leeching off of them or doing anything underhanded with them. So I just want to make that clear. Now I understand. Now, of course, if they're not in a position where they can financially support you, then they'll say, hey, can you get a part-time job? My parents were like, no, just focus on getting a programming job. I wasn't, my mom wasn't coming up to me and saying, hey, can you work? And I wasn't saying, hey, go fuck yourself, mom. I wasn't doing anything like that. They just.
And that's their choice. That's their money. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And you're able to spend the time applying for jobs. Okay.
Yeah. And I understand a lot of you out there probably don't have that advantage. I realize that, but your parents might have different views. My parents were fine with it.
Well, let's take a look at your money, see where things lie. See if, we already know some things have improved. Well, let's see if anything's stayed the same or slipped backwards. We have a few different checking accounts.
Yeah, I primarily use Alliant, but I have a few different checking accounts.
We'll start with the Wells Fargo. And there was a beginning balance, 2,000, then 125 was taken out, ended just below 2,000. And really, it was just a Scott purchase of some kind?
Yeah, voice acting coach.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you're doing, is this new?
What?
Is this new?
I've been trying to I've been voice acting for a little bit, but I just felt like I wasn't making a lot of progress. I was just going and trying to do free jobs, and I was going on like websites and just trying to audition for a bunch of small projects because, again, I'm just starting out. I can't just go up to a major guy and say, hey, give me a job. I gotta work my way up.
You want to give us some voice acting?
Yeah. So I just wasn't making as much progress. So I hired a voice acting coach. I've learned a lot from him. I've gotten a lot better.
Is that what you want to do?
It's one of the things I want to do.
So more of a side hustle and passion, or do you think that's something you want to do a career in?
I'm not going to just throw everything away and try to pursue it.
Of course.
It's kind of a balance. You don't want to work at a job that you absolutely hate, even if you make a lot of money, but at the same time.
Do you hate your job?
No, I don't hate my job, but it's just a balancing act, right? Yep. You want to pursue what you want to do, but you also got to make money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for now, I'll just try to make it a side hustle. If it grows into something big, great.
Right. Yeah. Then we have, so this was your main one, right?
That is my main one. Yeah. Yes.
That's definitely where the majority of the purchases were. Now, this is a good thing. We went from $15,452 to savings, and we deposited $4,639, bringing it to over $20,000. That sounds like a fully funded emergency fund to me. How do you feel?
Did I save $4,000? Usually,
you deposited $4,000. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, in total, I think I saved $2,300 or something. That's what you need a budget told me. I don't.
Oh, okay. Very cool. How long have you been using You Need a Budget?
I was using it when I first met you.
Yeah.
Even before I got my first job, I was using YNAB or You Need a Budget because it's a good thing just to learn how to budget.
Do you use it pretty aggressively, like constantly? Okay.
Yeah, pretty aggressively. Like usually every few days, I'll just go through my purchases, categorize them. That way, at the end of the month, I don't have a massive log of purchases. And I'm just like, wait, what was that thing I bought like 30 days ago?
Mm-hmm. And then in the checking, 5,702 starting balance, good balance for checking account. I think right around 5 to 10 is good, depending on the person and their life. Total withdrawals, 7,638, deposits 6,845. So more taken out with ending slightly below 5,000 for the ending balance. But if, a lot of that went into savings, that's okay. Yeah. And here there wasn't too many purchases that were like, crazy. You're getting some Japanese food and some super chicken, and we're having Uber trips and a flight. Potentially, it looks like. Well, no, that's Kitchen United, and then Withdrawal Perch and Genuine Joe Coffee, Amazon purchases, Golden Acres, Amazon, Howl, Amazon, Adobe Creative Cloud, which, hopefully you're getting a return on investment, or at least at some point, and then some practical shooting shooting all the time?
Yeah, practical shooting. I make sure not to let it, destroy my budget. I still try to make sure I save money.
Taking tolls, Google storage, and again, on here, in terms of everything that's on here, that is not half. So I don't know. It's a decent amount of spending on one thing, but nothing crazy. However, if you add everything you spend up together, then it becomes a little more. Yeah. But relative to your income, that's what matters. We have a Wells Fargo checking before we get into where the majority of your spending on, which is credit cards. Wells Fargo checking, $249 starting, $260 deposit, only $10 taken out, ending just under $500. And this was
Yeah, it's because I didn't have a high enough balance. It was so dumb. I had $499. I was like, and then I saw, okay, wait, I have a $10 charge.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just sucks.
Then we have Chase Sapphire.
Chase Sapphire. Yeah.
Is this your main boy?
I recently got it. I make sure to pay it off every single month. The reason why there's so many purchases on that card is because I'm basically routing my purchases through it because I want to get those airline points. Gotcha. If I spend $4,000 on that card within the first 3 months of opening it, I'll get a lot of airline points. So that's all I'm doing.
For sure, yeah. Doing some credit card churning, and you got $1,360 of purchases, which in general is a lot. Depends where it goes. Okay, fun fact: they're all X's. X's mean bad. Okay. So you did just blow it on things that weren't necessary. I mean, so in order to try to get these points, you're spending it on things that don't add anything other than just fun. There's 2 grocery trips, 3.
Yeah, I got COVID earlier, remember? So I had to get a bunch of electrolyte drinks and a bunch of chicken noodle soup to deal with it.
You didn't have food to make?
What?
You didn't have food to make or grocery store pickups?
I had food to make, but chicken noodle soup and electrolyte drinks are mainly what helps. That's what I read.
If it helps your mental health at least, then it helps. But this is a lot of spending. I'm not going to name everything off, but we'll throw it on screen. You're going to some theaters. You're eating things out. Hop Dotty.
I ate out a lot this month. Definitely ate out a lot this month.
Lots of Amazon purchases and eating out. Taco Bell, getting coffee. Alaska Air, and some sushi and Postmates, so we're delivering food and Waffle House and Amazon and more Google purchases like Google Play, something for $432. And then again, out of all these X's, there's only 3 purchases that weren't having fun. 4 purchases. A couple of HEBs and then a parking.
Well, yeah, a lot of my basic stuff like rent, that's on auto pay for my debit. But yeah, all my other purchases like eating out, I was putting on this card.
Right.
I think you get more cash back on eating out. So if I ever ate out, I usually just use a credit card instead of debit. It didn't make me spend more money. At least I like to think so.
Well, I don't know. That was a lot of money. That was eating out more than once a day.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah. And then if you combine that with the other eating out that was from the checking account, now it's stacking up.
Yeah.
And then on the Wells Fargo Visa, $21 was the previous balance, and you paid that off. You don't hold any balances on here, right?
Nope.
$10 of purchases, and it was just your Spotify subscription.
Yeah, I just have my Spotify subscription on there. I pay it off every month.
Right. And then we have, what card is this?
It's an Express card.
Not
American Express, but the clothing store.
Yeah, okay. So you shopped at Express 3 times.
Yeah.
$282 of purchases. So you definitely spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Definitely spend a lot of money.
I suppose so, yes.
What's your paycheck?
My take home or before?
Yeah,
tax?
take home.
All right, so after taxes, I think it's close to $7,000 a month.
Okay, $7,000. Now.
Oh, the rent.
Your rent's just under 30% of your take home, so
yeah,
it's at the higher end, but it's under 30%. So
yes, my lease is going to expire in April, so I'm not renewing that. I did.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe LA, or if I stay in Austin, I'll go for a cheaper place. I'll find something for maybe $1,500. I'm sure you can find a decent apartment.
If you go to LA, get ready to change your budget because you're going to lose a lot in taxes and lifestyle higher.
Yeah, if I go to LA, I'll have to pay an extra $800 in taxes, I think, because of state income tax. Then rent is going to be higher.
Yeah. So in terms of your budget categories, again, we're throwing this on screen. Majority of these are fine. You did have $467 to travel, which $7,000 take home, not crazy. $156 of guns, not crazy. Acting, and that's the voice stuff. Backstage subscription. That's one of the things I pay money for. But yes, also voice acting as well. Okay. So really, you're not going crazy. I like that we put $20,000 in the emergency fund, and I like that you have good money in your checking account. You are spending a lot on fun, but it fits within the budget categories.
Mm-hmm. I set
Clothing
aside
is not an obligation, by the way.
not an obligation, but it's a nice to have.
It is.
So for food, I try to keep it at like 500, including groceries and eating out. That's
Well, I didn't add that up right there, but that looked well over 500.
yeah. For that one, I spent like 610 for January.
Unique month.
Yeah. Okay, it's a running joke on this channel, I guess. That was a unique month.
What do you have in retirement?
Retirement. So right now, I'm just matching the 401k.
What's the match?
It's like 3%. It's something like that. I make sure to match whatever percentage my employer offers.
Okay. Do you know what's in your 401k?
I haven't checked recently.
Can't be too much.
Yeah, it's automatic. Right now, I just want to put more in my savings account.
Why? There's 20,000. That's a good emergency fund.
Well, you have to remember, after taxes, sorry. After taxes, my sign-on bonus, remember, before taxes, it was 20,000. After, it was like 15,000. Because there's like a 22% tax rate on bonuses. So I just took that, placed it in my savings account.
Yeah, but why are you trying to put more money into your savings? 20,000's good for an emergency fund. So I'm trying to do you have a goal that you're saving up for? Or else it's just losing money.
That is true. Inflation does reduce the value of your money. Let's see. So I spent so I saved 23.
Well, and losing money by not taking advantage of the market as well.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you have to remember, there's like a stipulation for the sign-on bonus. Like if you get laid off or something, then if you get laid off before a certain amount of time or something like that, then you have to pay that sign-on bonus back. So I don't want to just spend it. I kind of
really, if you get laid off,
or you leave the position for whatever reason.
That makes sense if you leave the position, but
I think
if you get laid off, really?
I think
That's
why I'm just holding on to it. I don't want to spend that.
That's interesting. I might relook at that.
Really?
Contract you signed.
Okay, maybe it's like just something.
I mean, it's absolutely possible, but it just seems so. And we're in the world of layoffs right now. Has your company done any rounds?
I don't think so.
Okay, and I hope they don't. Is it a tech company?
It's like a consulting company. They do like a lot of college and healthcare stuff, so I think that's pretty stable. Colleges and healthcare always, have a steady stream of revenue. They're not as dependent on, venture capital or
I don't know. College just got really hurt and haven't fully recovered from the pandemic.
Okay. I mean, I don't think there's any, industry that's 100% safe.
No, there isn't. I'm just curious about that bonus thing.
Yeah.
Find out about that because that definitely changes things. If you can confirm it, if you wouldn't have to pay that back where you laid off, then absolutely at $20,000, I think you're good. Well, let's see here. I think you could survive on $3,000 a month.
It could be kind of tricky.
Why?
Let me think. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
in terms of what you are forced to do,
is
only like $2,000. So I'm giving you an extra $3,000 for gas and groceries if you had to.
If I remember on my on YNAB, my baseline obligations are like $3,000 around. So
yeah,
if I'm careful, I could probably pull it off.
But in your obligations, you also have things like grooming and clothing that can be cut, and digital subscriptions that can be cut as well. Oh. So there's things that can be cut.
Okay, so I should at least recategorize them so that they're not important. Yeah.
The tolls you can cut. You don't have to take toll roads to get places quicker. Public transportation you can cut.
Austin isn't really a public transit.
It isn't, but it's in your budget. So clean community.
Yeah, it's like part of the bill for my apartment. It's like clean community, pest control, that stuff.
Yeah, it definitely all adds up, but there's plenty of things you could cut back here. So that's why I think $20,000 is perfect because it could sustain you for 6 months, just surviving while you're searching for other things. You wouldn't be having fun, but you're not supposed to be in that situation.
Yeah, of course. When I was unemployed, I didn't go crazy. I made sure to just cut back on stuff. I wasn't like buying guns or anything like that.
Yeah. So from your previous employer or employers, have you rolled over any investments, any 401ks?
So for my previous employer, I was just putting money in my savings account. That was like mainly.
So you don't have retirement. You have like $2,000 in retirement.
Probably, but like I haven't been working very long.
You haven't.
Yeah.
But
you think I should divert that money from my savings account and route it to my
no. We're going to leave it there.
Leave it there. Not the money that I'm going to put, I guess.
Yes.
Money
Max out your Roth IRA. In fact, you still have about a month left to max out last year's last year's Roth IRA. So
okay,
max that out $6,000 and then $6,500 for the next year. Because $2,000 retirement at 25, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I haven't saved anything by then either. Just to get to where I'm assuming you'll want to be by your 60s, you're already behind. Okay. So it's time to catch up. 3% into 401k. I think if you want to just be truly simple about it and not think about it, I would max out your Roth IRA on a yearly basis and then just bump your 401k to like 10, 15%.
Okay. So basically take the money that I'm normally putting into my savings account every month. Before a month is up, I guess max out my Roth IRA. And then,
you don't have to, no, you can just put, no, to take advantage of, of course, I'm blanking on the term now that we're filming. But instead of putting in a lump in, it would make more sense to dollar cost average by just putting it in on a monthly basis. It was easy math when it was just $6,000, but I am happy it's $6,500 now. So what would that be? That would be $641 and 66 cents a month that you just put to your Roth IRA.
Yeah, I can probably do that. I can definitely do that.
You can definitely do that. $7,000, I'd punch you if you can't do that. If you say you can't do that. So easy, boom. And then I would just bump 401k to 15%. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure I know like what to do first and like the proper order. Cause I looked online and it said first to get rid of high interest debt, take care of your,
which you don't have.
Yeah. Immediate obligations. And then when it comes to like saving money, build up an emergency fund.
Which you have.
Yeah.
Now.
And then match your employee's 401k contribution and then max out Roth IRA, then go back to 401k.
Yep. And there's also, you could slightly switch it up if the 401k is Roth based as well. And rules have just been changed now where Roth 401ks do not have minimum distribution amounts by the time you're in your 70s.
Okay, wait, can you write it down for me just so I don't?
We'll afterwards we can go.
I feel like I'll forget something.
Yes.
Or something.
Now, is your 401k Roth based?
I don't think I looked at that detail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually you can switch it. Most places are getting Roth based 401ks at this point anyway. So that would make sense to definitely. Either way, it doesn't matter. With the money you're bringing, you're going to max out your Roth IRA easy and then do 15% into your 401k. If you can max out your 401k, that's awesome. But
so if I take your advice,
which is not investing advice because we haven't talked about where to put the money.
Okay, so if I follow what you told me, I'll be able to retire by 60. And what's the math on that?
Okay, well let's figure it out. We're just going to use the general S&P 500, which averages 10% a year. So taking all of its down years and all of its up years into consideration, it's just over 10% a year. This will be in today's money, and then we can calculate what it will be after inflation as well.
Okay.
Well, when do you want to retire? You said by 60?
Let's start with 60. Yeah, let's see.
Start with 60, okay. Because you are in your best decade of compound growth, second half of your best decade. So it's time to start putting as much money in as you can. 35 years. So in today's money, 7 million. Oh, actually, well, I mean, it would be 7,102,000.
Nominally, yeah, it would be 7 million.
Yeah. But what it would feel like in today's money.
Yeah, that's good.
And this is also taking into account that you're just putting $6,500 in forever for your Roth IRA, even though that limit will increase with inflation as well.
Okay.
So, and that your pay doesn't go up and, your stuff like that. So this is just if right now continued forever, starting with $2,000, putting in $26,000 a year, 35 years, S&P 500. In today's money, with what the average inflation has been for the past few decades, would be $3.6 million. That's what it would feel like today.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and with that, you could easily...
60, I don't know, maybe I'll live to like...
$108,000 you can siphon off and allow it to continue to grow. And I think that's right around where I set the money that I want to have until I know I'm like officially set for the rest of my life. 4 million, I think. Just slightly over 100, like $115,000, $120,000 a year I could siphon. So,
okay.
But with that, that's great. You can amp it up if you want to as well. But
yeah, and I could probably retire earlier, but I guess how would I do that? Because even, I'm still, but let's see. Is there a way to get that up? I mean,
What do you mean?
Would there be a way to retire even earlier than that?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
So if I were to retire like 50, what would that number look like then?
Oh.
I want to take a look.
2.5.
2.5. And then...
But in today's money.
Let's see.
1.6.
1.6 mil. And then how much can I take off again? Let's see.
From 1.6?
Yeah.
I do 3% in order to allow it to continue to grow. 48,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not a lot. I guess I got to find a way to increase my income then.
Well, income will increase with this. Limits will increase as well. And you could also increase how much you're putting.
Increase. Okay, so
you could cut back on other categories. I'm talking to the mic.
So when you suggested maxing out my Roth IRA and doing 15% for the 401k, is that basically taking all my leftover money, like the $2,300, and putting it into retirement? How much total money would that be? Like, would I be contributing?
Wait, I'm sorry.
So I'd be contributing like $400 a month for like Roth IRA. Then how much, if I did a 15% 401k contribution, how much money a month is that? Let's see, that's...
How much a month?
600. It's like 15% of my take home pay. That's before taxes. So it's like 9,000. And then, yeah, it's like 1,500.
It would be about, a month. Be about 1,600. And yeah.
Okay. So I'd be putting 1,600 towards my 401k.
And the tax situation is different based on Roth or traditional. We can talk about that afterwards as well. But essentially, now if you move to California, it might make more sense for you to do traditional anyway, because that'll help you save a little more money on taxes, taxable income. Where Roth, it's definitely, if you're below 30%, absolutely do Roth always, 100%.
Thank you. Is there any other advice or any other stuff you think I should do?
Well, no, just right now, your flaw right now is that you're definitely behind on retirement. So it's time to amp that up. You're in the best 5 years of your life for compound growth.
Got it.
And it gets worse and worse by every year. So put as much money towards it as you can. If you, for some reason, max out your 401k, you for some reason max out your health savings account, you for some reason max out your Roth IRA, you can put money into a brokerage as well. You can put it into the similar funds depending with who you're with. Yeah. Okay.
So, and if I want to like save up for a house, would that mean, focusing on getting more money into the savings account?
Well, what's hard is
there's some merit to that.
Yes, there is. Oh, absolutely. I would love you to get a house. You determine what the number is that you need to have in your account to retire.
Okay.
You determine what you need to contribute on a monthly or annual basis in order to hit that, depending with what you're invested in. And then you will know the exact amount you have to put towards investing on the side. And then anything else that you want to save on top of that would have to be on top of that to get a house.
Okay.
If you cut back from the goal, then you're not going to hit the goal.
Yeah. Okay.
So it just comes down to priorities and where your money is going. If we look at this month, a ton of your money was just BS. So, yeah.
You're just as blunt when I first met you, Caleb.
Oh, I'm always blunt. This is how I am. Anyone who's known me since birth, that is just me. But with that, that's what I'm thinking. I know you wanted to address some things from the last video, so I will allow you to close out this video by addressing some things.
Wait, didn't I say it earlier on?
Did you? Was that all you wanted to address?
Well, the main criticism was that, I didn't get go down to Walmart or something, but, my parents were fine with me just trying to focus on getting a programming job.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't realize how big of a deal it was because they never really brought it up with me.
Was that pretty much it?
The main criticism of me
What about your glug glug of the water?
Oh, yeah, that. I didn't know you beforehand, dude.
So I made you stress thirsty?
Yeah, it's better than stress eating. Okay, 0 calories.
That's for sure. Yeah, that's true. Cool. Any final thoughts then?
Any final thoughts? You gave me some good advice, so I'll make sure to follow that. I can't think of any questions. Yeah.
So there we go. For the Hammer Financial Score, this is the first improvement we've had from a follow-up episode. We've done 3 previously, technically 4, but 2 with the same person. But this is an improvement, so that is good. Not perfect. Emergency fund, we got to there. That's great. We got rid of all bad debts. We got rid of all debts. There's no debt at all. And all that's really happening is, not owning a piece of real estate and not we're pretty behind on investing. So right now, because we're pretty aggressively behind on investing, Hammer Financial score 7 out of 10, but that will be an 8 very quickly, and then hopefully all the way up to a 10 in the coming years once he's able to get a piece of property. So make sure to follow the things in the description, like my Instagram and Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.